All right, so I'm here to tell you that in 2026, why you need to change. Now, first, I'm going to talk about my 5 bad habits that I've currently quit over the last month. And then I'm going to next tell you about the 5 good habits that I've currently replaced with, right? So let's start with the first 5 bad habits, right? So the first one is no more energy drinks. It has been over a month, no more energy drinks, right? Second, no more fast food or junk food. 3, no more social media apps, right? 4, 90% less screen time. And what I mean by that is even when I'm on the computer, less screen time. Only about 10% on the computer now throughout the whole day, right? And then the last one is no more staying up late, right? Now, I'm going to tell you about what I've replaced with them instead, right? So I got my little notes right here. My 5 good habits that I've replaced them with is going to the gym, journaling, reading, scheduling, so rescheduling my life, or scheduling, right? And then must sleep 8 hours a day. Not even a question. Now, I'm going to go back and explain to you more into detail of how these things kind of affected my life and how now I am now a better person just within a month of just implementing these habits, right? So back on the bad habits, right? So energy drinks. Now I have a video. I'm probably going to link it below in the description, but you could watch the full video, but here I'm just going to summarize it a little bit. So energy drinks, for the most part, I explain in the video that it's just completely ruined my life, right? Now I will say that I'm a lot more focused and I feel like I'm more aware of what I'm doing, the food I'm consuming, just other junk food in general. So let me just give you a little story. So for example, I would have an energy drink, right? This would also kind of tie into my other thing where I used to stay up late. So I would think, well, I could just stay up late and I could just quickly rush and, just drink an energy drink. My favorite back then was I was drinking the original green Monster, right? Or I would have like the blue Red Bull. I think it was called Juneberry. And I would just chug one of those in the morning. And now I feel like I'm good, right? But no, not really, because, the energy drink would only last about 2 to 3 hours. And then eventually I'd crash. And this is the other thing that I realized was also kind of messing me up. So this kind of ties into my second one, which is fast food and junk food. So when I had a bad, when I'm sleep deprived and I'm chugging an energy drink the next morning, right, the next day, then when eventually my energy drink would crash and, I'm still tired, but I'm at work, right? I'm trying to stay awake. I'm trying to focus. This didn't really help me because what would happen is, when I was going through it, I didn't really notice it. But now that I'm analyzing my life and just kind of reliving how I was living before, right? When I was so sleep deprived and I'm drinking that sugar, because, energy drinks, they have a lot of sugar. And here's the thing, even if you have the ones that are artificial, like 0 sugar, right? There's still artificial sugar, right? So the problem is, at least for me, right, I would end up having this like domino effect where I'd have like sugar and candy or like, I'm really craving like some Sour Patch Kids or maybe some like Mike and Ike's or just, whatever, like some Skittles or something. So like gummy bears, I remember that was a big one of mine. Man, I'm not gonna lie, those were good, but nah, it's just bad. So that's also what would affect me before. I would be stressing out, and how I really dealt with my stress in the past was I would just eat a lot and kind of just stress eating, and I'm not really thinking about what I'm consuming. I'm just eating like all these like sweets and candy, donuts. I'd have like a bag of chips, like that family size pack, and I'd just eat it by myself. Like, I know it was bad, but this is kind of what I'm talking about. This is why I quit that, because after I quit it, I just feel like way better. And here's the other thing about the fast food, right? So I don't know if anybody else has gone through this. You probably have, because fast food is very popular, right? Because it's, it's fast, it's easy. I mean, it's not really cheap nowadays, though. It's expensive, but here's the thing. I mean, maybe that's for a good reason, right? Because then you can quit, and then, like, there's better alternatives. Anyway, so I could have, like, a good day at work. I could be I've slept 8 hours. After work, I'm like, you know what? I'm craving a Big Mac because I'm really hungry or something, right? I get the Big Mac, take a bite, eat it. I had the fries, I got the soda. Then I'm like, maybe for 30 minutes, I'm feeling like, wow, this is true life. This feels good. This feels really good. But here's the thing, right? When I would eat it, after, I would like lay down, have like a food coma, like a mini food coma, and I would just have like straight up brain fog. Like I just couldn't think about anything. I just felt tired. And again, I could have had 8 hours of sleep. Crazy, right? Crazy. And I would have this brain fog, and I realized that it wouldn't help me. It would not benefit me at all, because now, guess what's going to happen? You think I'm going to go to the gym and be productive? Or like even just go for a walk, or even just like think about my like goals, or like maybe something I want to achieve? Hell no. I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about taking a rest, and it could be 2 p.m. in the day and I want to sleep. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. So that's why I was like, yo, we gotta quit energy drinks and fat. I mean, we gotta quit energy drinks, but quit fast food and junk food mainly. Because now that it's been a month, I just don't really have these like brain fogs anymore. Like I feel like I can think straight. Even just like normal thoughts. I feel like I can think throughout the day now. I'm also not super tired anymore. I mean, I've still, everybody's still got those days where they feel tired, even if they get 8 hours sleep. But, why make yourself struggle more by having these, these types of foods and energy drinks, and they just kind of like they make the rest of your day a lot harder to function. So like, why even do that? You know what I mean? So just don't do it. Trust me. I did it, so you don't have to. Anyways, let's get back to it. So social media apps. Now, social media apps, I would say, I have probably quit in the last 6 months, but I'm not gonna lie, I was still checking it every now and then. Like I'd be looking at my phone, and you see the little notification like, ooh, who messaged you? You got like the little 1 or the 2. It's like a red number, right? And like you open it up and you're like, oh my God, who messaged me? Like, ooh, this is cool. Oh, look what this guy is doing. Look what she's doing. Like you feel like you're like kind of in the mix, and like, oh, this is cool and all. Like you're watching like these highlight reels on Instagram, and you might get that quick dopamine. You'll feel kind of good, but I'm not gonna lie. I just eventually thought to myself, like over like last month, I just said, is this really benefiting me? Like, is it really helping me? Because here's the thing, like a lot of social media, like these social media apps, a lot of my friends, I just know them in person. So like here's the thing that really made me feel a lot better. So if I really wanted to know what so-and-so was doing, I would just come up and ask them. Like, I mean, I feel like that also helps your interaction skills anyway. So that's good. So this is also what's going to be good for the new version of yourself. Because, a lot of days I could tell with myself, but also with other people, they're kind of losing a lot of social skills, even though they're using social media. I mean, it's kind of funny. It's like you got social media, but you don't have these skills anymore. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of weird, but kind of funny. But, so that's the other thing. So, like, here's the thing. If there's something really going on with someone's life, they will tell you. Trust me, man. They will tell you. Now, if they're not really in your circle of like friends or your friend group, right? And like maybe you feel like, oh, well, I just have to know what's going on. I mean, I guess, sure. But I guess I'm just telling you my point of view, my perspective. Like, once I eliminated social media completely over a month ago, it's funny that like my brain just doesn't react the same way anymore. I just don't really seem to care about checking social media or whatever. Like, it's just because it's not my phone. Because, you know, before I would like open my phone, check my feed, but now it's like I don't even see it. Like, I physically deleted it on the apps on my phone, so I don't see it anymore. So it can't affect me. And now it's kind of like I'm just focusing on my own, like, you know, I still got a friend group, right, at work and stuff, but I'm not really focusing on that, like, you know, seeing the highlight reel, because that's really what social media is. You're just seeing the highlight, the best of what people are doing. But, you know, that's not what life is. You know, life is everything. You got the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, the ugly, you know, the great, the magnificent. But, like, it's a roller coaster. You know, every single day, it's a new day. It's a new struggle. It can be a new way to grow, you know, new growth, right? So, I don't know. It just, I feel like I'm less anxious. I'm not really too nervous anymore. I'm kind of more like relaxed. But although I do feel like I have more energy. So it's kind of a little yin and yang. Like, I do feel like I have more energy, but I am still relaxed. Like, I always thought, how could you have both, right? It's like, seems kind of weird. But anyways, let's move on. So 90% less screen time. Now, when I say this, I'm not really talking about so much like social media. Like I'm not talking so much like my phone, because my phone, I don't really use it as much. Oh, and real quick, I'm also, when I'm talking about like social media, I'm talking about like the apps, you know, like Instagram, I guess Twitch, does that count? I don't know. Discord, I mean, I do use Discord a little bit, like even now, but I still delete it on my phone, and I only make sure I use it when I physically get home and I look on my computer. So the reason why I said 90% less screen time and not 100% is because, you know, in this modern day age of social media, and like we have the internet, I still think the internet is still good, but you have to minimize it and only use it for, you know, the benefit of yourself. So like, you know, if you're trying to create a business and you're trying to network with people, I think that's good. Using social media, that's all fine and dandy. That's great. I think eventually in the future, I would like to do some kind of like business. But, you know, we'll get there when we get there. I mean, first of all, we got to get these main bad habits out of the way into the new good habits, right? But it's all a life process, right? It's going to happen. I believe it because I'm, you know, envisioning it. And this is the new version of me. I'm just, you know, we're working on it as we go. So anyways, and then also like another thing that I really like doing too, that I've implemented too, that I didn't really talk about, but it's like making videos. Like, I really like making videos. You know, it's a little bit like, I feel like I'm airing it out. I'm airing out my thoughts, but also it's fun. I mean, it's cool because then I could look back at my old videos and I could think, wow, this is where I was and this is what I'm thinking of now. And I could look at like all my, you know, my good, even my bad times, and just kind of like reflect over the years and just think, wow, this is like, I created this. This is cool. So that's that, right? And then staying up late, I kind of already kind of talked about that, where, you know, I'm tying it into like, I would drink energy drinks because, well, I could stay up late and I could have junk food and fast food, and, you know, everything would tie together and it was all pretty much bad. So anyways, let's move on now to the 5 good habits. Now, the 5 good habits. So working out, going to the gym, right? Now, I pretty much, what I do now is, you know, I'm still working a 9 to 5, 5 days a week. And pretty much what I've figured out for myself that works for me is, now I work early in the morning, 5 a.m. in the morning, right? And then I get off at 1 p.m. So 5 to 1, 8 hours, right? But it's still a 9 to 5, right? That's just the term. So now check it out. So for me, after work, I'm going straight to the gym. Rain or shine, doesn't really matter. I just started doing it. And now it's not even a question. I don't even think about it anymore. I just do it, right? And I'm also going to say that, like, in the beginning, you will probably get motivated for like maybe a week or two, but I'm trying to tell you that it's not so much motivation, it's more about discipline. Now, how you build discipline is you have to implement good habits and actually take action. And once you do those good habits and you're taking action day in, day out, eventually it just becomes a good habit. And you don't even really think about it anymore. You're just in your brain, you've unlocked something where, okay, after work, I'm instantly going to the gym. And also another thing too is, even when I'm at work, I'm like hyped to go to the gym. That's another good thing, you know, because a lot of things are, when you think about stuff, you know, that's going to be what you plan on doing for the rest of the day. Like if you keep thinking about, you know, oh, I want to go to the gym, or I want to start like reading a book or something, or I want to start playing this video game, that's what you're going to do most likely, because you keep thinking about it. So this is why if you start thinking about good things, good habits, eventually going to do it. Now, you can think of all the best things to do in the world, but if you don't take action, that's to me like the most important step. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good to plan out your day and figure out what you want for your life, right? How it's going to go day in and day out. But for the most part, if you don't take action, it's kind of just like, it's like knowledge that's not really going to do anything for you. So trust me, once you have your layout of what you want to do, excuse me, just start taking action. So going to the gym right after work, it'd be 1 p.m., maybe like 1:15 p.m. I drive to the gym, it'll be about 1:30, right, p.m. Now, sometimes if I want to make a video, like right now, I'll like make a video before I go to the gym. So that way, because for me, I was trying to implement of like when would be a good time to make the video. And for me, it just worked out because, you know, I technically could make the video after work. I mean, after the gym, but because I'm pushing myself to the limit, I'm trying to push myself to the ultimate max that I can, you know, like push hard, weight lift hard, you know, also doing core workouts. Just, you know, if I'm not sweating and I'm not feeling that pain, and you know, a good pain, there's a certain limit, right? Then I feel like I didn't really work out, and I feel like I'm not really pushing myself, right? Because I want actual results, right? So here's the thing. And then after the gym, when I push myself to the limit, guess what? I am so tired. Like, now this is a good tired. This is exhaustion. Like, I am just tapped out, you know, and this isn't like sleep deprivation. This is just physically tired. My body just went through it. I put myself through the ringer. Now, this is a good thing because, you know, physical fitness, overall wellness, overall health, I think this is a good thing. But make sure you get the right quality rest and sleep. You know, this, I'm going to talk about that in a couple minutes. But, yeah, so pretty much I'm not going to make the video after because I'm just tired. So I just rest. So I'm going to get to that now. So after the gym, I'll start reading, right? And this is one thing also that has really changed in my life, and I have never really done it before. Now, I have read books in the past, but, you know, I never really made it a priority. Like, I kind of read it on the side sometimes if I felt like it. But here's the problem. Because I had all these other bad habits, like scrolling on social media or like, you know, being on my computer way more than I am currently. Like, I'm only on it like 10% of the day now. Before it'd be like my whole day. I wasn't working out. I was eating junk food, fast food, energy drinks. I mean, the whole shebang, right? The whole nine. So, I really wasn't working on myself at all. So now I will only set myself to be on the computer to play some video games, because I still play a little bit, but I treat it as like I've earned myself to actually relax a little bit if I want to, if I decide to, because some days I don't even have time because I'm so busy with everything else. that I just don't have time. Like it's, because you only have 24 hours in the day. 8 of it you're going to sleep, 8 of it you're going to work. So that's 16 hours, but really it's more like 10 hours because you have to get to work, which takes usually like another 30 minutes or an hour. And then you got to come back, which takes another 30 minutes to an hour. So let's just say 10 hours for work, 8 hours of sleep, 18 hours. So that means you got 6 hours. You got 6 hours left that you could work on yourself, right? So, that's every person, right? Whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you're successful, you're not successful yet, whatever kind of person you are, every single person pretty much has that set schedule if you have a normal 9 to 5. Now, if you don't have a 9 to 5 and you finally have escaped and you're free and you have a business, you might even work more hours. I mean, I don't know because I don't have one yet. But, kudos to you if you have one. Respect. I'm trying to get there. Anyways, what I was saying. So reading. So after the gym, after I work 8 hours, I go to the gym if it's a work day, 5 days a week. So by the way, real quick, I will work out 3 to 5 days a week. That is a must. No ifs, ands, or buts. Like that is a must. Now, I might not always go to the gym. I might go home and just do like a core workout because I just feel like I do better with that because I have my own space and, I don't know. I feel like I just prefer that because, the gym mainly is for like weights, at least for me. I do the gym. I like going to the gym more because I'm working on weight training, right? I mean, of course there's a pool and there's like a sauna in there, which is also a good benefit. But if I'm just doing core workouts, I'll just go home sometimes. But that still counts as a workout day, right? Because I'm sweating, I'm hurting, I'm in pain. Good pain, by the way, not a bad one. So, but then when I say 3 to 5 days a week, there's also times where like, let's say it's not necessarily like a full rest day, but it's a rest day for the gym or even for the core workout at home. And maybe I'll go on a hike that day. And that's still something physical, so doing something where I'm moving, I still think is really good. So like keeping the blood flowing, moving, staying active, also another thing real quick is in the past, because I was like on the computer all the time and, playing games all day and just eating junk food, I'm just gaining all this weight. I'm creating all these bad habits and just like, I'm not moving. And I realize to undo all this is going to take some time. And, I might look at myself and be like, man, I feel like I got to do so much work in order to just burn this, like, to get rid of these bad habits. But, I've been doing them for probably over 10 years, like a decade. So probably more. And it's not going to change in a month, as much as I try or might want to like really bash it into myself and like, I will change. I mean, this is mainly for, I'm going to change and I'm implementing these good habits, right? From the old habits and replacing them with good habits. But I know it's going to take time. But the thing is, if I'm starting like this and I already feel this good after just a month, I mean, just imagine in like 6 months or a year or like 2 years or 5 years. I mean, I'm still young, but I'm 35. So, we got to start somewhere. I feel like I already wasted enough time, but it's all good. I know we can fix it, okay? But I'm just trying to tell you my perspective. So, okay, let's get back real quick. So, I will read for at least 1 hour a day after the gym. Now, some days I might spend like 2 hours or 3 hours. I don't really calculate it after an hour because I just get so into the book. And I'm gonna tell you right now that there's this book I'm currently reading. It's called The Power of Purpose by Les Brown. And I'm not finished with it yet, but I'm currently reading it and I'm about like on the 7th or 8th chapter and I'm having a blast. And you know what's so funny? Me implementing this at least 1 hour a day of reading has really helped me kind of prioritize some really good habits in my life. Because before that, you know, like I said, I would say like I've read a couple books here and there over my life, but you know, it was so random and just kind of like out of the blue. Like it'll be like one book a year, maybe two, but it was like kind of like there could be like 3 years where I just don't even touch a book, right? So, and I realize it's because like if I had to choose, even right now, if I had to choose video games, like on the computer, right, the internet, or read a book, 9 out of 10, I think 10 out of 10 times, I will always pick on the computer and video games. It's just, it is what it is. I think it's just, you know, because as humans, you're going to go to the thing that's first of all, the thing that you're more used to with your habits, right? But also the second thing is something that seems like it's an easier way to get dopamine and an easier way to kind of like enjoy what you're consuming, right? But I realize that is a lot of that is kind of like you're kind of like, you know, just like fast food and energy drinks, right? Junk food. Like, you know, even though you're not physically eating something, right? But you are consuming, you know, a lot of this crap online, or like you're playing a video game. It's, you know, it's leisure, it's relaxing, chill, cool. But why am I spending like 6 hours a day? Like all my extra time that I have left after work and after sleep, I'm not really like, you know, I'm not growing. That's the other thing too. So like all these years too, I've noticed that I'm like kind of like annoyed and pissed off of my life, but I'm like, wait a minute. How can I be mad? Because if I'm just going to work and then right after I just like play on the computer, like what makes me think that I'm going to change my life? Like, it's crazy to think about, but like once I started analyzing, taking a step back and just, you know, eating healthier and just kind of just overall just kind of like realizing what I've been doing, how is it that I could think that my life will be better and change if I just right after work, right after I do what I need to do, right, which is like pay my bills, you know, I got to make sure I have food, I have water, right, somewhere to live, you know, I have a car payment, like that's all fine and dandy. That's what you should do, right? But these are like the bare minimum necessities. Now, if you want your life to change or get better, how can you expect it to get better if you're just going straight after work and you're just on the computer all day, or you're on your phone all day and scrolling? I mean, it sounds insane when you actually say it out loud like that, but I mean, you can't expect it to change because this is literally what you're doing. You're not growing. You're not even, you know, doing anything that could, you know, enhance your life. Like what exactly, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I realize this is my own fault, but it's just so crazy how it took me so long to really be aware of this. And you know what? Who cares? I'm aware of it now, and we're going to change it. This is why I'm making a change right now. I mean, I've been making a change, but, you know, change is a slow process. It doesn't just happen overnight. This is why I waited until at least a month in order to talk about it, to kind of tell you what has changed and how I've changed. Because, you know, you can't just change within a day or overnight. So, yeah, so I've been reading at least an hour a day. The other thing, journaling. So journaling has been really cool for me. So, and I'm not really talking about like just journaling for like, oh, what did I eat today? Or like, how did I feel? I mean, that's all cool and all, but I'm mainly journaling because it's more of like, you know, if I have accomplished something, I'll kind of like check it off my list and I'll say like, okay, I went to the gym today. I mean, not every single day, but if I feel like I need to do it, so maybe like once or twice a week, I'll kind of get out my journal and it'll kind of like keep me back on track of like, okay, what do I need to do? Because, you know, there's some days you're going to feel tired, you're going to feel down, you're going to feel like you don't really have that much energy. It is what it is, you know, like we're humans. And the other thing is, I think the reason why I feel like that too is because I'm trying to override all these old habits and my old past for over a decade. So now that it's been a month and we've been changing, moving in the right direction, I think my body is still so used to these old habits, and it's trying to pretty much like, it's like this push and pull, like I'm going back and forth, and it's like the body keeps saying, oh, just relax, just chill, it's all good. And then my new self is like, no, dude, you can't relax anymore. You wasted enough time. You got to really like keep going, like keep the momentum going, and just, you know, what you're doing is good and right because you feel so much better. So just keep going, you know, you got those like two voices in your head, like one saying don't do it, and the other one saying like keep going, like, you know, the good and the bad, the yin and the yang. But, you know, that's the other thing. So journaling also has helped me too. When I think about something like a cool idea or some kind of like concept, idea for a video, I'll like write it down, and I'll pretty much save it for later. And then like later on, I'll think, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Or sometimes I'll combine like two ideas and make it into like one video. So, you know, kind of like stuff like that. It's just kind of like, whatever I think about or something that maybe is a good idea, I'll write it down and like save it for later. So that's kind of good, what I've been doing also as well. And I never did that before. So now another thing, scheduling. So this one has been a huge change. I mean, maybe one of my best good habits I've implemented, because, you know, working out, reading, journaling, you know, sleeping 8 hours. I mean, that's all good. But I feel like if I don't schedule my life in the right way, then it's kind of going to be a little hectic and a little crazy. And I'm not really about that anymore. Like, I like to actually schedule my life. And don't get me wrong, there's going to be days on my day off where I kind of just chill, you know, for a little bit. But for the most part, I like to keep a schedule and pretty much set my life up in this certain way so that it's easier to create good habits, and also my body will start remembering and implement it because I'm taking action every day. So these habits, this is pretty much how I do my life every single day for the most part, at least if it's a work day, right? So let's start. I'll wake up at like 4 a.m, right? Because I have work at 5 a.m. I'll get ready, change, you know, I'll have an apple every day, or I'll have some kind of fruit like a orange or something healthy. I'll drink some water. Ooh, excuse me. And I'll have my like healthy vitamins I have every day, like five a day or something. No, sorry, not 5 a day. It's called 1 a day. What am I talking about? It's called 1 a day, but it's got like 5 different vitamins and minerals, like, you know, like calcium or like vitamin D or something, all that stuff, right? Good stuff. And then there's like these little vitamin gummies I have, and I also have fish oil. So that's been making me feel better as well, including the 8 hours of sleep, right? Then I'll go to work 5 to 1. That's when I work, right? I work really early in the morning. But what's cool is I get off at 1 p.m. After I get off of work, it'll take me about 30 minutes to get to the gym. Oh, and by the way, also to get to work so I wake up at 4 a.m. and pretty much I leave for work 4:30 in the morning, and then it takes me about 10 or 20 minutes. Like, I'm pretty close. And also, you know, at 4:30 in the morning, there's really not that many people driving on the road. So, you know, there's that. And then I get off at 1. Again, there's people on the road, but it's not as busy. I get home. I go to the gym. It's at about 1:30 p.m. Now, I'm going to talk about it a little bit to where sometimes I want to make a video, and I'll make a video right before I go to the gym, right? And that would be about the best time because I still have energy and I'm still good to go. Because after the gym, I got no time for making a video. I'm like reading, I'm like relaxing, you know, I got to make sure that I'm eating my protein, all that stuff, protein shakes. So anyways, I'll go to the gym. It'll be about an hour, 45 minutes to about an hour and a half, depending if I'm training, lifting weights or doing core workouts. Then I'll go home. It'll be about 1:30, 2:30. So it'll be either 3 or 3:30 p.m. about that time when I get home. Usually I'll take a shower. And then, well, actually, I usually have my protein shake first with my creatine and, all my other like supplements I have. I think I have L-carnitine, glutamine, and creatine. That's usually the three pills I take after the gym. Because I'll have my good pump workout, feel good, I'll be home at about 3:30 p.m., take my shower, quick 10-minute shower, feel good, wipe away all the sweat. Damn, I feel like I'm sweating right now. I'm not even at the gym yet, but it's all good. And then I'll have, my protein shake, all that stuff. And then let's see, it'll probably be about like 4 p.m. about around there, 3:30, 4 p.m. And then that's when I start reading my book first. So I'll read a book, and then it'll either be like 5, 6, many times it's more than an hour. It's like an hour and a half or like 2 hours. So let's just say it's 2 hours. Now it's 6 p.m. And after that, I'll check, like I said, not all the time, but sometimes I'll check my journal to see if I'm like, okay, do I have any ideas for like a new video? So I'll check, okay, well, it looks like I'm good today. I guess today I'm gonna, I feel good. I'm not gonna make a video today, right? So then, okay, I got 2 more hours. Maybe I'll watch one thing on Netflix or something, like one thing. This is what I'm saying. Like, I still use the computer for leisure time, but it's like after I did everything else I was supposed to do, instead of like instantly just rushing and getting on it. So I'll go home, I'll do that. It'll be like 6 p.m. after my reading session, or let's say it could be 5, right? And then, I'll get on the computer and like, I did quit that game that I used to play, RuneScape. I mean, that game is just, I feel way better too. That's the other thing. I feel like I have so much time now too, because I quit that game, and I just feel like I have more time and energy to focus on me and focus on my goals. So I quit that game, but if I do log in, usually it'll just be like some Netflix, or maybe I'll just the only really social media that I will use is kind of like Discord, because like, if you have online friends, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I like to talk to them sometimes, but it's mainly just kind of like updates on what I've been doing. Like, hey, by the way, if you haven't seen me that much, it's because I've been doing this, and this, like going to the gym, working on my fitness, trying to get healthier, trying to change all my bad habits. And a lot of them are cool about it. They're like, oh yeah, dude, we're happy for you. They're like supporting me. There's been a couple of friends that are like, man, how come you're not online anymore? We don't see you online. And it's like, I can't really, focus on that, because it's just like, they're trying to, if they're really a good friend, they're gonna be cool with you when you tell them like, hey, I'm making a change, I'm trying to make a good habit, so a good future for my life. So if they are cool friends, they'll get it. If not, I don't know, you might have to cut them off. I don't know. I mean, you gotta focus on you though. So anyways, and the last thing I'm gonna talk about a little bit is sleeping 8 hours. Now after that, I'm after reading, right? It's 6 p.m. I have time for like maybe going on Discord, checking a little messages a little bit, right? Maybe watching like one or two episodes of Netflix on a show. That's about it. Or maybe I'll look up a video on YouTube, and I'll kind of like, implement like an idea for like my YouTube channel or something like that, right? But or sometimes I'm just watching some bull crap, but at least it's only like 1 or 2 hours a day, right? Way better than spending like 6, 7, or 8 hours. And I've also already been productive for the rest of the day. So that's kind of like what a day in the life of kind of me, how it's like. So once it gets to 8 p.m., I gotta sleep. So I'm like brushing my teeth quick, 5 minutes, brushing my teeth, mouth water, right? And that's it. I just go to bed. So that's it. So hey man, I'm just telling you, this is my life, this is what's happened to me, and so far it's been good, and I'm just excited to see where it goes from now on. And these were the 5 bad habits I've told you about, and then also implementing my 5 good habits that I've talked about. A little bit more or less here and there, but those are the main points. And I hope that in 2026 that all of you guys can have a good year and a good structure building for your own life, for your own future. Until next time, stay true to yourself, and life will get better. Peace.